Hello, it's good to have you with me. Today is Saturday in December, and our focus today is Talking to Win, Session B. Yesterday we presented Session A about becoming an effective communicator in any setting that you might find yourself. Session B is unique because it asks you to make a commitment to whether or not you're willing to become a masterful presenter. I don't know exactly what you think that means, but when Tom McCarthy, the expert in training executives and coaching them on how to become expert presenters from the stage, and when we got together and talked about this, we said, being a masterful presenter can take place in any form, any setting in which you may find yourself. It might be a small holiday gathering in the month of December. It might be that you're on a Zoom call and there's a conferencing happening and there's a point in which the microphone comes to you. It's your turn. Or you may be called on by your organization to present the views of the organization to the public, or you might be on stage making a living as a public speaker. In any of these contexts, if you are willing to become a masterful presenter, there are steps that will guide you to achieving exactly that outcome. This Paraliminal guides you through a unique set of experiences that help you recognize a certain level of mental toughness, clarity and focus, designing the message, reading the nonverbal cues of the people around you, and becoming more capable with every presentation that you make. Now, if you're not willing to be able to make a mistake, to be vulnerable in the presence of other people, will have a tendency to withdraw, to hide from the opportunity when someone says, "Can I have a volunteer who'd like to present the views of the group to the organization?" If your hand goes up, you're on. That's the moment at which you start bringing out the gifts and talents to be able to be as effective as possible. Now, I wasn't very good at Toastmasters when I first started, so I decided to stretch myself. I decided to go into contests, speech contests. I'd been in debate, I'd been in student government when I was in school, and I didn't love it. I didn't think I was a really great presenter, but I was committed to getting better. So having started with Toastmasters International as developing my capabilities as a public speaker, I joined the humorous speech contest. Well, I won at my club, and then I won in my area, and then I won in the division, and then I went to the district. Now, the district championships included all of the clubs in Minnesota and several areas in Canada. Went to a big public venue. It was an armory, one of those Quonset hut kind of places. 600 people are in the room. I'm on stage. I'm delivering my humorous speech, and nobody laughed. Oh. Now, you got to understand, it was absolutely fantastic every time I had presented it before, but it was a lot of really close-up facial gestures, humorous innuendos, etc., that required that you could see this Quonset hut, this armory was about a quarter of a mile long, and most of the audience couldn't make heads or tail of that little speck that's on the stage. So it was a complete disaster. Everybody in my club, in my area, came up to me and said, "What happened? You were so good when we saw you before." So before we left, and this was down in southeast Minnesota at a university, I I went back up onto the stage. The place had emptied. And I stood at the podium and I looked over the room. I said, next time there is a contest, I'm going to win this. And I just felt what that would be like. Now, there's a very important bit of technology, mental technology, that's built into the Talking to Win Paraliminal. You experienced it in session A, and it also happens in session B. And that is, imagine what it would be like a year from now. What would it be like 5 years from now, 10 years from now? What would today be like if a year ago you had this, 5 years ago, 10 years ago you had that? How would today be different, and how would your future be different as well? Now, when you think about that, essentially what we're doing is we're drawing in the brain's capability to transcend time and space, to reach in and build an historical reference inside of you as being capable. Now, that's the very last few concepts that you'll hear in the Paraliminal. And the very first couple of concepts you'll hear is answer this question: am I willing to become a masterful presenter? Could I be willing to become a masterful presenter? When? You see, if you say now, it doesn't mean that tomorrow you're going on stage in front of 6,000 people. No, it just means that, yes, I dare to be a leader, to step down into that arena and to be one of the few that has a voice that can benefit humanity. You can do that. And it doesn't matter how big that gathering of humanity may be. Enjoy developing your skills. It's a path that will bring you so much joy, so much excitement, so much life. And there is nothing more psychologically rewarding than someone coming up to you and saying, your presentation changed my life. So I wish for you all the best. We'll see you tomorrow when we do Sunday in December. Peace and blessing.